Alright, so I'm here to explain what happens when Rahu, the North Node, enters the 5th house, and what happens when the South Node, Ketu, goes into the 11th house. So first I'm going to start by explaining what is the 5th house. The 5th house is a house originally ruled by Sun and ruled by Leo. The 5th house can represent children, sex, dating, individual creative hobbies. It can represent your past life karmas, and it can represent basically just the study of maybe astrological, ancient, religious, philosophical texts. Why? Because 5 places from the 5th house is the 9th house, which represents higher education, higher learning, finding God, and religion, and spirituality, and all that good stuff. And 9 places from the 9th house is the 5th house. So these both are just connected in that sense. And because I said that the 5th house is associated with like past life karmas or like the luck that you've had in a previous life, then that sort of represents, it deals with past in a sense. So these people can really be interested in learning about the past in general if you have prominent planets in this house. And one of the reason that children is associated with this, because I told you, it's like individual creative hobbies. Dating and romance is mainly seen from this. So one thing is part of dating is sex, and one thing that can happen with sex is children. And since I said this is also a house of like, individual creative hobbies, children themselves can be very creative and stuff. So therefore, that's why all these things are all in this one house. The 11th house, that deals with large social network circles and gaining from other people, is originally ruled by Saturn and Aquarius. And this house just shows, how you might deal with large crowds of people. It'll show your ability to maybe either be a leader and lead them, or show your ability to just gain from large amounts of people or whatnot. You have to see what plans you have in that house to see all that, but that's generally just about the gist and basics in regards to the 11th house. So when you put the North Node, Rahu, in the 5th house, these people would just naturally be inclined and prone and curious to want to learn things potentially like astrology and, just the past, spirituality and whatnot. These people, since the North Node is an area that we haven't really experienced and dealt with yet, that's an area in our life where we'll tend to mess up a lot and make a lot of mistakes. So these people can probably make more mistakes more than often with the people that they probably just date and have their little romantic flings with. And since the North Node Rahu is a head without a body, it has a bottomless pit. Wherever it's at is have this insatiable thirst and desire for the things in regards to that house. So these people are very prone to having a lot of kids. And these people can be very driven to wanting to perfect and develop their craft and whatever talents that they have. Now I'm going to run to explain what the 11th house does with South Node K2 there. As I've said a million times, the South Node K2 represents past life experiences, things we experienced and dealt with in a previous past life. So what we can see here is that you're someone who've already dealt with and experienced things in regards to gaining from large amounts of people, or gaining from other people, or dealing with large crowds of people, or leading them, or just being involved with a lot of people and stuff. Or better yet, you are used to, in a previous life, just making gains off of your talents or whatever. You're just used to gaining stuff from other people and dealing with large amounts of people, short and simple. But in this lifetime, it's very likely that you might be a loner and just not want to deal with a lot of people, might not want to be around a bunch of people, because you already experienced and dealt with that enough in your previous lifetime. So you're just sort of like exhausted and tired and don't want to deal with that many people. You just standoffish and stuff. You don't really care to might be in the spotlight that much potentially. And how these two sort of go together, one thing you can see with the South Node in the 11th house and the North Node in the 5th house, these people could either have a desire to want to take their talents of the 5th house and make gains of them through the 11th house, because the 11th house is the gains. that you can get from other people. And the fifth house is like, your talents, what you're good at, your hobbies. And most people, they make money off whether their talents and hobbies are. These people can possibly have a desire to want to take those fifth house talents and share them with the world, share them with the 11th house and make gains from them. And it's either possible that A, they will really struggle to, make money and integrate those skills with the masses, with the world for whatever reason. Or B, these people will become very good at taking their talents and skills and gifts and infusing them with the world, but they might not really care to, they might not really either care too much about the money and gains that they're making. Something of that 11th house would just cause some type of disruption, because these two placements, ultimately Rahu and Ketu, they're malefic in nature. So there's always like some type of backhanded compliment, some double-edged sword when it comes to these two placements. They could really love whatever hobby they're doing, whatever talent they're doing, but they could just, for whatever reason, when they try to make money off of it, when they try to share with the world, that fun, that pleasure, it sort of gets ruined. It's like, I was having so much fun and really enjoyed whatever when I was doing whatever I was doing, when I wasn't making money off of it, or when the whole world didn't know. But the moment that I try to be all capitalistic with my talents and my gifts, it's just not what it was. Yeah, I'm making money, but I don't have that peace at mind no more. I gotta shake hands and speak to all these people, and the money is good, it's paying the bills, but I don't want to deal with these people. It's just not me. Like I said, on the other side, they'll be very good at what they're doing, but they might struggle to integrate those talents. Or, since I said that the North Node is an area that we tend to mess up a lot, because it's an area that we haven't really experienced and explored yet in this life, you could desire to want to take your talents, take your gifts, and share them with the people, but you might just be really bad at whatever you're trying to integrate and share with people, or whatever you're trying to whatever new idea you're trying to make money off of and show and share with other people. They might just look at you like you're crazy. It might not be that good, or might not be that well thought out. So you just tend to probably just get delayed and wanting to share your talents with the world, because you just spend so much time perfecting and crafting, and you might just be going against the wind, going against the grain. So it's a lot of various possible things that can happen when you have the Rahu in the 5th house and the South Node and the 11th house. Those are just the things that could happen. Ultimately, we would have to see what sign they're in and know the dispositor of Rahu and Ketu, aka the North Node and the South Node, and really to get it and narrow down, you would have to see the nakshatra, the exact nakshatra that is influencing these placements. But ultimately, that is what you can see when you have North Node Rahu in the 5th house and South Node Ketu in the 11th house.